So here's the subject of today's painting, a foxglove from the garden. Amazing kind of plant actually, and as we can see at the top here, little buds gradually getting bigger and bigger as it goes down until it gets to the rosette of leaves down the bottom here, and inside you can see little hairs in there, and then you can see where the pollen is kept inside there for fertilizing, and all of that to attract the bees in to produce seeds. And last year we collected seeds from the foxgloves in our garden, and we collected these, and you can see how tiny they are. They're literally the size of the point of a pin, let alone the head of a pin. And isn't it incredible to think that those tiny wee seeds turn into plants as big as this? This is another one that we just cut. It starts here, and it's a great long thing. So we're not going to try and draw that, but we're going to try and draw some of the beautiful flowers from the middle area. And oh yes, and we should notice the shape of the leaves, which are frilled edges. They're not flat, they're quite textured, but they have, and they're a sort of pointed oval, but they're kind of frilly, aren't they? I think rather nice. And the flowers are held on by a kind of crown of green bits around the top, the occasional smaller leaf up here, all of which is very important. And if you do get the chance to find a real flower to paint, it's hugely better than just copying photos off of the internet, because one person's interpretation of somebody else's painting or somebody else's photo, which has probably already been enhanced digitally, you're going to get an awful long way from the real thing. And although it might look nice and perhaps be fun to do, and you probably will learn something, I do believe that we can do better for ourselves by looking at the real thing. We do need to reconnect with nature, don't we? It's what does us good, keeps us breathing. So this is where I'm headed. This is a sketch I did earlier. I'm planning on this. I did this before I picked the those plants. So this is, firstly, it's like a pink colour rather than, this is wild, what I just showed you. So that's the natural wild colour, we'll go for that. And then my idea was I would do a painting with some bees coming in. So I'm going to do that sketch, and that will be available for you on dianeantone.com. Go to the website and you can download the sketch if you want, if you don't happen to have access to foxgloves. And then you can go ahead and paint it, if that's helpful to you. So I shall turn you off now for a minute while I do the drawing, and I'll be back in a tick. Don't go away. Okay, so I've got the sketch done now, and these are the colours I'm going to be using. I've got Quinacridone Violet or Quinacridone Purple, which is going to give me a nice colour for the flowers. And I might mix that with some Quinacridone Rose or a similar bluish red. Alizarin Crimson would probably do fine. I've got Quinacridone Gold for any yellows that I might like to use, for example, in the bee. And for the bee also, I've got black, obviously, for bumblebees. I've got sap green, which I will mix with cobalt blue and perhaps with Quinacridone Gold to make different shades of green. And I've also got my potter's pink here in case I need it. Now I'm just going to put some of these dishes, they're all a little bit wobbly today, I don't know why. I'm going to put them on my piece of towel there, which I use to just wipe my brush off with. It's quite handy. for that. Now looking at the plant itself again, I can see that at the top, the green bits, they're slightly lighter in colour and less bluish than the leaves down the bottom. So when I do these little flower buds at the top, I'm going to make them a little bit greener than the leaves down the bottom. So we'll start off with a mixture of green and Quinacridone Gold, quite dilute, for the buds at the top. And we'll just drop those in to where I've drawn them. And to make the shadowy areas there, we'll add a bit more blue and a little bit more yellow to make a darker green, a little bit darker, and just drop that in like that and let that bleed a little bit to give you a mixture, soft mixture. And then the little hats for the flowers, it's just a one stroke thing really. You can just drop it in 1 or 2 strokes like that at the top of each flower. Something like that. And we can kind of come in straight away with some flower colours. At the top, they're very, very light actually at the top, and they do have a little bit of yellow in them as well. And I think what I might do is sort of come in with a bit of yellow-ish and then a little bit of mauve and let them kind of blend there. I think that's probably worth doing. Because they're, you know, these flowers are still growing out of the green of the bud, aren't they? So we'll put a bit of yellow. Let's do 3 at a time, like that, and then clean the brush, and then a little bit of the mauve colour, and let that blend. And we'll see what that does. It's always interesting to see what actually happens, isn't it? If you want to make a dark green, you can mix the quinacridone purple with sap green, and that will give you a darker green. So you can drop that in to indicate the stem behind if you want. You can put more purple than that if you want. You see that's quite a lot darker. That gives you a little bit more depth, and you can also use that to put the little points on the buds. They've all got little points and a couple of little drops there as well. And then we could use that for 1 or 2 hats as well down here if we want, just as a variety. And then we're going to come in there with the first, and they're quite reddish. They're not really a bluish purple, they're a reddish kind of pink. I don't know, it's difficult to mix these colours actually. Quite blue. So our best bet is going to be to, you know, mix and mingle. So we'll put, you know, on one side we might do slightly darker, like that, and then on the other side a little bit pinker. The wild ones are a different colour. You can get all sorts of different colours of domesticated ones, can't you? And what we have here are wild. So they're sort of that kind of colour. I don't know that they're really quite as dark as that. So if we feel we're going too dark, we need to lift out some colour. Put it in the next one down. Maybe I'll try some, what did I do with my Potter's Pink? And sometimes, you know, you don't really need to absolutely match the colour. Haha, she said, since she's totally failing to match the colour. but that's not a problem, is it? As long as it looks nice, that's better. And then we're going to just let the colour bleed down, because after all, this is loose. This is not tight painting, is it? I do like to let the paint go where it wants. And the thing is to not panic. I do it too. We all do it. You think, oh my God, what have I done? But don't worry. You can think that, but don't let it make you panic. Excuse me for coughing. Okay, so we need to now go into the flowers again with another colour. Okay, at this point we need to let that dry and then come back and see what we've done. Okay, so just working on shaping up these flowers here a little bit, trying to get them to look a little bit more three-dimensional. And I'm just going to pop a little bit more colour into these ones over here. Although the idea of this was to have one in the background that was much lighter, so we don't want to do anything very much on that front. Just a little bit. And we've got all sorts of colours in the greens here, a big mixture, because why not, I guess. And time for a bit of experimentation. Maybe, I don't know if this is going to work. No, I don't think so. Sometimes when you dab things out, you get an interesting effect, so I'm not sure what that's going to look like. We'll leave that. Because it's got, the leaves are very mottled, very patchy and sploshy. So there's the final painting. I hope you enjoyed following along with that one as we did that this afternoon. The foxgloves are looking really beautiful this summer, and this just seems like such a wonderful opportunity to paint the bees. So if you did enjoy this, if you could give me a like and subscribe to the channel, and of course leave one of your comments below. We always enjoy reading your comments and we always reply. So thanks very much for being here, and I'll see you again soon, probably tomorrow. Bye for now, everyone. Bye bye.